There was a subtle detail in the Bad Batch episode 4 which seems to hint at something much bigger regarding the Kaminoan cloners and the clones themselves. If this detail was placed in this specific spot at this specific time for this reason, as a way of teasing what's to come, then it's possible the Kaminoans are up to something much bigger than you may have first expected. The musical score in episode 4 of the Bad Batch seems to indicate that a certain character was about to use the Force and could potentially be Force sensitive. And this may have confirmed some of our previous suspicions. Been thinking this for a little while. All right, let me show you. Hey everyone, it's Andrew. So when Omega is hanging from the maintenance tower while being chased by Fennec Shand, there's a moment where she's about to fall, right before Fennec catches her. Omega looks down, sees the ground far below, and then looks back up. She's realized she can't get back up, so looks like she's about to attempt a drop. And in this moment, the musical score goes... What you just heard woven into the Bad Batch's score were a few moments from the Force theme, which goes like this. This, of course, is one of the most iconic themes that's constantly repeated in Star Wars and is also known as Binary Sunset because, you know, Luke looking out at the sunset kind of thing. But what's so important about this piece of music is that it's the signature theme for the Force being present in the scene. The Force existing in each scene where we hear this music. But this can of course be interpreted differently. It doesn't necessarily refer to a direct use of the Force. Like, you know, every time we see a Force push, we don't hear this. No, that's not how it works. It's what's known as a leitmotif, which is a musical term for a short recurring musical phrase that's associated with a particular place, a person, an object, or an idea. So the Force theme is a leitmotif for the Force. Every time we hear these few notes of music, the idea of the Force is present in that scene. So why do we care? Now, again, this doesn't mean that the characters we're watching are using the Force or have control of the Force. For example, we see it used throughout Rogue One with Jyn, and, you know, it symbolizes the idea of hope. And Jyn isn't a Force-sensitive character. She's not a Force user. Although, as wise old Obi-Wan Kenobi says to Luke on Tatooine,
the Force is what gives the Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together.
So now that we understand when and why the Force theme is used, does this mean Omega here was about to do something using the Force? Or was it just going to be a moment of courage? A moment where she'd made her decision about what she was going to do to try and survive the fall, and therefore the theme played as a moment, the hero's moment. The thing is, all of this happened so quickly with Omega. It was so brief. We barely get the chance to take in this moment before Fennec grabbed her hand and says,
"You can thank me later."
But if the use of the Force theme in this specific moment is hinting at something much larger, then the possibilities of Omega's origins and purpose are blown wide open. There's so much potential for who she could be and what her purpose is. Now, the reason I think this could be more than just, you know, the use of the Force theme is because of a link to Jedi Fallen Order. In the opening mission, when Cal's friend Prauf is about to fall off the scaffolding into the depths below, Cal reaches out and uses the Force to save Prauf. In both of these moments, Jedi Fallen Order and the Bad Batch, they're hanging from a ledge. They're needing to do something extraordinary to either save someone or themselves. And they're required to use the Force. Only thing is, Fennec grabbed Omega before she even got the chance to do anything. Before she absolutely had to do something. Now, I'm not saying she's a trained Jedi or Padawan or anything like that. All I'm saying is what's been speculated ever since we saw this character for the first time, that she's potentially Force sensitive. And if that's the case, then it's pretty obvious why she's being hunted by Fennec and why it's likely the Kaminoans want her back. Remember that conversation from episode 3?
I fear for the future of our operation. We must ensure our clones remain essential.
We keep coming back to this because it seems more and more relevant. The Kaminoans are putting their contingency plan in place. They need to prove their worth to the Empire if they want to stay in business. Otherwise, the Empire are moving on to conscripted soldiers. That's the way they're going to go. We think Omega might have something to do with the Kaminoans' contingency plan, seeing as though she's the one Fennec is trying to capture. Therefore, Fennec is working for the Kaminoans, right? Because they want their clone clone back for the next phase or whatever diabolical cloning they're doing. Gonna create lots of clones, messing with the gene pool and all that stuff, and test tube babies. There it is. Alright, so if Amiga is force sensitive, if this moment where she's about to fall is a hint at that, then the Kaminoans must have a ridiculous cloning program they're about to put in place. Instead of an army of Jango Fett clones with 200,000 units ready and a million more well on the way, there'd be an army of Jedi with 200,000 units ready and a million more well on the way. Or perhaps this cloning program is something a bit more refined, leaning into Force Unleashed territory. Galen Marek was a force-sensitive child twisted to the dark side by Vader, who then realized the truth and was eventually killed. Galen was then cloned over and over and over and over again until the Kaminoans perfected the cloning process, giving birth to new Star Killers, this time with dual backwards lightsabers, because that was all the rage back then. Everyone loved the dual backwards lightsabers. Man, for years I longed for a game where you could just play with a normal Jedi with a normal lightsaber, and Jedi Fallen Order finally took many years. If this is Amiga's purpose, if that's why she was created, if that's why she's so special and what she'll become, then man, this show is going to take us for a ride. Remember, all we really know about Amiga is that she's a clone, right? Meaning there could be other Amigas out there. We don't know who the original person was, who the original template for her was. It wasn't Jango Fett, was it? I mean, she has a New Zealand Kiwi accent, so who knows? Perhaps she's a female Jango Fett. But we still know so little about who Amiga actually is and what she's capable of, apart from the fact she has heightened senses maybe, which could also mean she's potentially force sensitive. In some cases, it also seems as if she's able to predict what's able to happen before it does, which is impressive for someone who'd never even seen dirt before and gets fixated on every detail she sees in each world she visits. I mean, the whole reason she was about to fall off the rooftop was because she got distracted and walked off from Hunter and Echo, chasing strange animals and playing with the clone trooper toy. And then she gets captured by Fennec, gets led on. Obviously, you don't talk to freaking random strangers on the street. What did you think was going to happen? You silly little guy. I mean, she's just a kid after all. Don't blame her. All right, so did this brief moment actually mean anything? Did this music being played at this specific point in the show actually have a meaning, a purpose? Maybe not, but hey, at least you learned something about music theory today. Leitmotif. There it is. So yeah, this whole video could just be some wild fan theory, but thanks to Holden Gannon for bringing this to my attention. Thanks, man. If you have any other tips and stuff, please send them to me at Twitter or leave them in the comments, and I'd love to know what you think. Is Amiga force sensitive? Hopefully we'll learn more in episode 5, but let me know your thoughts. And for more on the Bad Batch, made lots of videos so far, lots more on the way. Watch one of these here. And follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and join my Discord. For lots more Star Wars gaming, come and send me your tips, your tricks, your hints, your Easter eggs, whatever you want. I'll make some videos, and thanks for watching this. My name is Andrew. I'll catch you soon.
Stay bombastic.